Hello, my dear listeners. Hope you guys are doing well. In this part, you'll learn why your mistakes can feel like a threat to your whole identity, how to leave your comfort zone without breaking your nervous system, and how to come out of hard times with more stability instead of more anxiety. If you want change that makes you stronger, subscribe now so you don't miss the next parts. Point 6. If one mistake feels like I am a failure. Here's something that shapes this problem much more than people realize. We live in a society where we constantly feel we have to prove what we achieved, how much we earn, what kind of car we drive, which restaurants we go to, what grades we get, which college or university we got into, and what level it has. Even career choices are often based on what is fashionable or respected, not on what someone genuinely enjoys. And sometimes the thing a person truly likes doing is less paid and less respected. For example, someone who works in a nursing home or takes care of other people often gets less social status than a programmer, an engineer, or a psychotherapist. So, from early childhood, many of us learn the same pattern. We measure our worth through achievements. This becomes even stronger in families with narcissistic parents. The child gets pushed into endless activities and development, and the parents show the child off. The message becomes very clear. You are valuable when you impress. So it makes sense that later, one mistake can feel dangerous. It threatens the whole system. If your identity is built on achievements, then failure doesn't feel like a moment. It feels like a label. And there's another detail that matters. Your brain is not satisfied with one achievement forever. When you were a child and you learned to walk, you were proud and happy. That was a huge achievement. Learning to hold your head up, to roll over, to crawl, to walk, to talk, even to breathe on your own. These are enormous achievements if you compare point A to point B. But you don't feel proud for the rest of your life because you learned to walk. Your brain gets used to it. Society gets used to it. It gets devalued. And then, if you want the same reward feeling again, you need something bigger, a higher level, a stronger result, a more impressive achievement. This can start to work like an addiction. A person needs a stronger dose of achievement to feel good again. That's why this point is not just about telling yourself mistakes are fine. This is about changing the way you measure yourself. Two things help a lot here. First, keep your achievements visible and learn to value them without devaluing them. It can sound strange, but having a written list can help your brain. A list that begins very early. You learn to hold your head up, you learn to roll over, you learned to crawl, you learned to walk, you learned to speak, you learned to breathe. You didn't know how to do any of that in the beginning, and your system learned it. Then you add everything else you built later: skills, work experience, difficult situations you survived, things you learned, changes you made, moments where you didn't give up. Keep that list somewhere you can reach it. Read it from time to time. Look at it on purpose. Train yourself to keep valuing what you already achieved. Second, learn how to close situations properly so your brain can take in new information about who you are. This is a skill and it matters a lot. I'll explain exactly how to do it in one of the next videos. When that video is published, I will pin the link in the first comment so you can find it easily. Point 7. The right way to leave your comfort zone so you don't harm yourself. Right now, everyone gives the same advice. Leave your comfort zone. Do what feels scary. Do what isn't natural for you. And yes, growth often requires discomfort. But there is a very important detail people forget. If you don't understand how your brain and psyche work, you can try to improve yourself in a way that actually makes things worse. Here's why. Leaving your comfort zone works best when you are already in a relatively calm, stable state, when you feel okay and grounded enough, when your system has enough inner strength to handle an extra challenge. In that state, your psyche can tolerate the tension that comes with a brave action, a difficult conversation, a presentation, speaking on a stage, asking for a raise, or even proposing to someone. That tension can be uncomfortable, but it stays within a workable range. Your system can hold it. But if your brain is already sounding the alarm, it's a different situation. When your psyche is already under heavy pressure, adding comfort zone exit on top of that can push you into overload. And in overload, your system has only one goal: to end the discomfort as fast as possible. That's when people freeze and forget their words, or they say something stupid and then feel ashamed, or they start talking too fast or fall apart emotionally. They snap, they lose control, or they do something that shuts the whole situation down. It happens because their psyche is trying to survive the level of tension. It forces the process to collapse quickly so the body can return to the familiar baseline, even if that baseline is not pleasant. This is why one of the first stages of changing your life is working with the discomfort you already carry inside. It's exactly what we've been talking about in the previous points. Otherwise, you can still achieve something, but at a cost. You can shake your nervous system so much that later you need medication just to stabilize. And you might get the result, but you won't feel joy or satisfaction from it because your system is exhausted and overwhelmed. So yes, leave your comfort zone, but do it from a place of inner stability. First lower the alarm inside you, then take the brave step. That's how change makes you stronger, not more fragile. Point 8. A couple of words for those of you who is having hard times right now. Easy days feel good. You rest and enjoy life. Hard days do something else. They shape your character, and they also test your values. In difficult times, it becomes very clear what you truly stand on. Not what you say you value, but what you actually live by when pressure is real. This is why hard periods can become a turning point. You can come out of them with experience, with inner strength, and with a deeper trust in yourself. That happens when you lean on your values and let them guide you. And sometimes you also revise your values, because values are not just beautiful words. They are a direction. They give us an inner support. Here's a very practical reason this matters. When people are under pressure, money problems, loss, stress, uncertainty, they often feel tempted to solve it fast, to lie, to cheat, to manipulate, to take shortcuts that don't match who they want to be. And yes, sometimes those shortcuts can bring a quick result, but there is a side effect for our psyche. If you get through a hard period by betraying your own values, you may survive the situation, but you don't feel stable afterwards. You carry tension inside because part of you knows what happened. And then, even when life becomes calmer again, you can stay anxious. You start expecting that others will do the same to you, that someone will trick you, use you, or take advantage of you. The danger is gone, but the anxiety stays. But if you manage, even in a difficult situation, to act in a way that lets you feel, I'm a good person. I respected myself. I stayed honest with myself. Then, when the hard period ends, you don't just have a solution. You also have inner stability. You have self-respect. You trust yourself more than before. So if you are in a difficult period right now, take time to look at your values. Write them down. Ask yourself which ones are still alive for you and which ones you may want to change. And also, look at your environment. Hard times show you who is truly a friend. They show you who stays close, who supports you, who is real with you. And if some people leave, try not to take it as proof that something is wrong with you. Use it as information. It's like a test that reveals the qualities and values of the people who called themselves your friends. By the end of a hard period, you will know what you can truly rely on. You will know what is actually your support. And that knowledge becomes part of your inner backbone. In the next parts, we'll talk about how your brain learns through small daily choices, how to build habits in a way that actually works for your psychology, and how to make progress feel possible even when you failed before many times. Tell me in the comments which part hit you the most today. If you enjoyed this video, let me know this in the comments, give my video a like, and subscribe to my channel.